So this video explains a typical fermentation process. A fermentation process normally starts with a stock culture. Stock culture contains inactive cells. So before we produce any product from these cells, we need to activate them first. The cell activation process is also called inoculum development or inoculum preparation. So to activate the cell from this stock culture, we just need to transfer them into a culture containing a small volume of their optimal medium. This culture will be then placed under optimal condition for the cell to grow. When the cells enter their log phase or are at their most healthy state, then they are ready for the production of the desired product. This culture is also called an inoculum culture. Normally we use an inoculum size of 5 to 10% when we do fermentation. For example, in this case, the working volume of this fermenter is 10 liters. So this 10 liters should consist of 0.5 to 1 liter of inoculum, right? Then 9 to 9.5 liter of medium. Here's something that we need to pay attention to. In case that we need a large volume of inoculum culture, we have to gradually scale up the inoculum culture. Instead of transferring a looful of cell from this stock culture into 1 liter culture medium, you may transfer them into 250 ml culture, then gradually increase it up to 1 liter to get the desired volume of the inoculum. Okay. The reason that we should not immediately transferring these cells into a large volume of the culture, because we want to activate the cell, right? Meaning to have a healthy cells or active cells. But the densities of them or the number of the cell in the culture is also important. If we transferring a little number of microbial cells from a stock culture to a large volume of inoculum medium, then the cells will be too diluted, and that may not be a good starter culture, right? So when you inoculate the inoculum into the production fermenter, the cell will grow and synthesize the desired product. The next step after the fermentation process is called product recovery and purification. The mixture in the production fermenter is called culture fluid. Culture fluid contains microbial cell, desired product, the remaining nutrients, waste, and mostly water. So the first thing we can do is to separate the microbial cells or the solid particles from the aqueous phase. right? So this is called cell separation. Cell separation can be done by using centrifugation or filtration method. When the cells are separated from the arcuate phase, we have cells and supernatant. Now, for the intracellular product, the product which is kept inside the microbial cells. The next thing we need to do is to break the cells to release the product out of them. So for cell disruption, we can use mechanical, physical, chemical, and enzyme or biological methods. After the cells are broken, the product will be released in the outside. We also need to remove the cell debris from the mixture. Cell debris removal can be done by using centrifugation or membrane methods or filtration, right? Then we will get what is called an extract. In case that the product is extracellular, product, meaning the product is excreted or produced outside of the microbial cell. Therefore, it should be found in the supernatant. We do not need to do any cell disruption, right? Because the product is already there. So, the next step, after the cell disruption, if needed, depending on the physical and chemical properties of the product. For example, the size of it, the polarity, and the chart or something like that, the product will be recovered and concentrated by using precipitation, membrane techniques, liquid extraction, or some chromatography methods. So after this step, we get purified and concentrated product, right? Which may contain a certain amount of water or solvents, depending on what method that we use over here. So to make the product ready for packaging, we can use a crystallization or drying method. Then, and this step is called finishing operation, and then we get the final product.